Permaculture has a very unique approach to economics that's really outside the boxes of the usual isms like capitalism, socialism, etc. And I want to emphasize, I'm not going to endorse any ism over the other. My goal is to show you some economic options you may not be aware of, regardless of what overall system is in place. And that's really the goal of permaculture. What resources do we have in the system that we live in? So what is economics really? Per the ancient Greeks, where the word came from, it means the management of a household. That could include the health of the natural world and all of the elements of the permaculture flower. It might not include gambling on subprime mortgages or other artificial constructs in our current economic system that have nothing to do with our lives, really. The word wealth comes from Old English, weal, which means well-being. What if we measured how wealthy we are by how much well-being we have? In permaculture, we approach economics from a holistic viewpoint and strive to design our financial lives in integration with spiritual wellness and the other petals. How can we increase our quality of life right now rather than when we finally retire? This can be challenging in modern society sometimes, but people are doing it with whatever resources are available to them, and permaculture tools can facilitate that. We look at wealth as any energy in the system that we can access ethically. A huge source of potential wealth, thereby, in the U.S. is the waste stream. We throw away 40% of the food we grow. Our landfills are filled with plastic and other reusable material. I'll share one of my favorite examples of someone tapping into this enormous stream of wealth. This was a man with a family who had been laid off and desperate for work but couldn't find it. Having done the permaculture course, he looked around for some waste wealth and noted that people had a lot of fruit trees that weren't being harvested. He started knocking on doors and offering to pick their fruit and keep it off the ground. In exchange, he'd give them some and sell the rest. He got so many positive responses, he'd hired a crew of 15 people to help him do this. If we think in terms of the problem is a solution, we start to see that these opportunities exist all around us. In this case, people were having to deal with their lawnmower hitting rotten fruit and fruit attracting rats. He saw that as an abundance that could meet a need elsewhere, chemical-free fruit at the farmer's market, and created a way to handle that. I've wanted to create a permaculture farm for a while, but didn't want to finance the project myself. So I went to friends and colleagues and created a win-win plan for them to invest in. Here's a secret that isn't well known enough. Relationships are a form of wealth. And there are many ways people can have relationships with each other, with nature, and with the built environment. And that secret goes deep. Finding a new beneficial way to interact via those relationships provided the wherewithal to both develop the site faster than I otherwise could have and to continue doing design and education work. There are many, many examples of this type of out-of-the-box approach to economics. Permaculture has a giant box of tools and perspectives that can help people get outside the box economically. The idea is to give you more choices. Most of us want to care for the earth and each other, and being able to find new ways to produce economic energy can help us do that.